Lockdown Tower, also known as The Tower, is a French film from 2022. This is written and directed by Guillaume Nicloux. I apologise if I've mispronounced that. And the concept is really fascinating. And there are a couple of intense moments, but I found it to be mediocre at best, with just some holes in the story that don't really add up, mostly because of the passage of time. This is set in a tower block, and this thick fog-like substance has formed around the tower block, and nobody can get out. If you try and get out, it's going to kill you. So it's about these residents in this tower block having to fight for survival as time goes on, because of course they're all stuck inside there. Resources are going to deplete, and also you have the added effect of how it affects people mentally when they're stuck in this situation. And I don't want to go into too much detail about what happens in case you do decide to watch it. I should point out that as far as I know, there's not an English language version. The version I watched is on Amazon Prime, French language with English subtitles, just pointing that out as a matter of fact. And if you do watch it, I'd love to know what you think of it. I don't know if I recommend it. I think it's an amazing concept. And there are times when I feel like it was well executed, but the longer the film went on, the less I really believed what was happening. And that's largely to do with survival over the passage of time. I don't necessarily believe, as much as I can say in reality, I don't think this would play out the way it did. So I wasn't really fully buying the narrative as time went on. But as I said, the concept is brilliant. The characters are fine. I feel like we do have a lot of different personalities, as would be the case with the tower block, and I think they did a good job of that, but I didn't really connect with any of them. I didn't really care. It's not that I didn't care about any of them, but I wasn't particularly connecting with anyone or following any one character's or one family's journey. That being said, there were times when it was a little emotional when things happened to this character or that character. So even though I wasn't that bothered about some of the characters or any of the characters, there were times when emotions were actually quite heightened. Is it scary? It's intense. And it's unclear what's going to happen scene from scene, which helps with that intensity. But I don't really think it's scary. Is it thought-provoking? Absolutely. Is it realistic? I don't necessarily think it's a realistic portrayal of what survival would be like in this situation. But who knows? Let's hope we never have to find out. Lockdown Tower is not perfect. It's a great idea. And we have some great performances. No problems with the performances. The camera work is great. I think they make a really great use of the tower block space. I think that worked really well. It never felt like the setting was stale, because even though we're inside the same building for the duration of the film, I do think it worked really well, and it is quite intense. Maybe a tiny bit, and it's not even scary, it's more just, it makes me feel uneasy because of the uncertainty, just every now and then. So it's atmospheric, I guess. It's not too bad. It's not perfect. I don't fully buy into the narrative, and I don't think the characters are that interesting. But if it sounds like it appeals to you, if you're fascinated by it, if you want to check it out and see what happens, then I'd say it's worth watching. I probably, almost definitely would never watch it a second time, but as a one-time watch, I don't regret the time I spent watching it.